Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hands up if you've had your shade matched already. Who? A few. Okay, don't worry, we're here all day. We have a very special masterclass up next with Estée Lauder. And we all know products are very important. We have a gorgeous array here, but the application is what really takes it to the next level. And we have a really fantastic masterclass from renowned makeup artist Adeola Gboyega. And exactly, make some noise or some commotion. Very, very, very excited. And she'll be showing us how to get that flawless look on the beautiful Sasha. So, yes! So Shasha's from Love. That was a tongue twister. But first, I want to hand the mic over to our founder of the Beauty Beat, Donna Dia, who has a very special mention. Make some noise for Donna. Give her the warm welcome. If you love that goodie bag worth 450 English pounds with full-size products, I think you need to make a little bit more noise. Donna Dia. Honestly, year 3 of the Beauty Beat, each year, strength to strength to strength. Production levels, growth, glamour, drama, iconic.
And Zazie, of course.
It just gets better and better. So over to you, Donna.
So I only normally say hello and goodbye at the start and the end, but this one was very special, and it's not paid, hashtag paid or whatever. But my mum is here today. She will be very mortified. She's sat in the front row and... And for those of you at home who maybe can't see, she's now being papped. But yes, so Estée Lauder is just a very quick antidote. When I was a very little girl, my mum had this big brown dressing table, and on it was Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair, And so to have Estée Lauder here at the Beauty Beat at my event with my mum, it's just amazing. So I just wanted to come on and give my mum a round of applause because she is Beauty Beat, and thank you for being an amazing black woman and for starting all of this with your advanced night repair. Okay.
Thank you,
but
Donna.
Enjoy.
Thank you to Donna and your incredible mother. Make some more noise for Mama. Sweet Mama. And to all the pioneers and the legends who've paved the way for the beauty that we're enjoying today. But without further ado, I think it's time to invite the pro to the stage. Please give an extremely warm Beauty Beat welcome to the iconic Adeola Gboyega. Exactly. Fab. Adeola, how are you feeling?
I'm really, really excited. Wow. Donna, year 3. Super excited. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Adeola Gboyega. I'm super excited to be here for the 3rd year of the Beauty Beat. I'm really, really excited because I had a massive conversation with Donna before she started, and to actually see it come to life, but the 3rd year in a row is absolutely incredible. And to be here with Estée Lauder as well, which is very, very exciting. I also have my mum and my auntie in the front row as well.
Shout out, hi mama, hi auntie. Respect.
And to be in a room where we're always celebrated and it's a focus on us is really, really exciting. So we're going to get into it. I have my lovely model here, Sasha, which I'm very excited to do her makeup. It's always a joy. Even after 10 years of being a makeup artist, I just love skin. I just love makeup. And the really exciting thing about Estée Lauder is I actually used to work for Estée Lauder companies many years ago. And actually to be here is a full circle moment because it was all about the focus of skin and making sure that the skin just looked really beautiful and perfected. So feel free to interact. I want you guys to get as much knowledge and information as you can from this masterclass. I know that you guys have been going to the actual stand where Estée Lauder is and asking for your shade match, but this is all about the education part of it. I really want you guys to have the tools to be able to understand how to find the right foundation for yourselves, but also how to achieve really flawless skin that makes you camera ready, that makes you look really nice and perfected and flawless. Okay? Let's start.
I'm not just here for decoration, by the way, just to fluff around. I am here to take your questions. So whilst Adeola is giving us the masterclass and the demo of how to get fabulous, like, come on, look at this face of life. Please. Whilst you're talking us through, I'll be on the lookout. If you have any questions, anything specific about any of the products she's using or applications, just put your hand up. We have some roving mics. So it'll be interactive, you know. Just think of this as like girls talk.
Thank you, hostess.
Over
with
to
the most.
you.
Also, your outfit is giving. I love it. You look amazing.
I mean, when the beauty beat steps it up,
Right?
the pressure gets worse. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Let's do it. Okay, so how many of you guys are actual makeup artists? A few of
Any
you?
pros and
Okay.
cons?
Who's here for the good vibes, the goodie bag, the enjoyment? Yes.
Enjoyment
okay.
Deluxe Gang. You are my
I
people.
love that. Okay, that's awesome. So just a little bit about Estée Lauder. For me, I really love and actually was introduced by their Advanced Night Repair Serum. So this is one of their cult products. Who's tried it? Who loves it? Yeah, it's amazing. And I think the name also kind of makes it sound like it's only meant to be used at nighttime, but I'm actually going to show you how you can use it in the daytime as well. That's one of my favorite ways of using the Advanced Night Repair Serum is actually to prep the skin, but also to mix in with your foundation. So we're actually going to be focusing on the double wear range of foundations today, which is really good if you're looking for that long wear, you're looking for that flawless makeup look, and you want your skin to look incredible. So with all great makeup starts with great skin. So we're going to do some skin prep using the Advanced Night Repair range. I'm actually going to go in with a couple of drops of the serum. And this is really important because, especially at this time of the year, I was just talking to one of the girls from the team, and we were saying how we're literally just going through the serum because, especially at this time of the year when it's really cold, you want something that's going to protect your skin, hydrate, and nourish, and this serum is amazing. It's also oil-free. So if you are someone that has combination skin, oily skin, what would you say your skin type is, Sasha?
It's a mix.
Yeah, combination, which I find that most people are, where they're oily on the T-zone, but they kind of feel quite dry in other areas. You want to ensure that your skin prep is really, really kind of balanced, because what you don't want to do is overload your skin with more moisture or excess moisture, because by the time you then start applying like creams and moisturizing products, it's going to start looking very greasy. So the reason why I love the Advanced Night Repair Serum is that it's an oil-free, moisturizing, hydrating serum. It's packed full of one of my favorite ingredients, which is hyaluronic acid, and just gives you that incredible glow. So if you just look straight to the front there, you can just see instantly how her skin is glowing just by me putting that product onto the skin.
I have a
Ooh,
question.
yes.
At what stage in the skin prep does the serum come? So I've washed my face. Say this is the morning. I'm getting ready for a full day with my double wear.
Yeah.
I want to last all day long. I've washed my face. Then what? What stage does this come in?
That will be the first thing you put on. So when you think about textures, it's very important to be mindful of when you're layering, especially now that there's so much information, so much product available. It can become very overwhelming. You know, you see the sort of like 10-step routines. You don't have to do that. You can do something very simple. A serum is the first thing that goes onto your skin because it's the lightest texture. So always think of it in terms of like your layering. Lightest first, the thinnest product, then your thickest product, okay? And because the serum is the one that has the most active ingredients, it's the lightest in texture, it's the first thing you want to put onto your skin. And you don't need to wait for it to dry. Just go straight in with your eye cream and then go in with your moisturizer as well. So we're going to go in with a little bit of eye cream as well. Who finds that when they put their concealer on, it starts to crease and move? Yeah? It is the number one question I get all the time. How do I make sure that my concealer stays on flawlessly and looks amazing? Again, it's all down to the skin prep. Every stage that I'm doing now, especially with the Estée Lauder skincare, is to ensure you get that flawless finish. Because if there's any dryness, if there's any texture, the minute you put foundation on, it's literally just going to make it look worse, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to go in with the Advanced Night Repair Eye Cream. Again, I really like this because it's a very lightweight gel, and it's the perfect primer for makeup. And actually, I really want to raise a very good point about priming the skin. Anything that you use to prep your skin before makeup is essentially a primer. You might want to buy a specific primer, like I'm going to speak about in a second, if you have any particular concerns, such as oiliness, or if you find that your skin is quite dry and you want that glow. But even just using your serum, even just using your eye cream and your moisturizer, that's a primer, because you're prepping your skin for makeup. So anything that preps your skin is a primer. Okay, amazing. Also, you guys are going to get full size of this in your goodie bag. You get a serum, you get a serum, you get a serum.
Fab.
So that's really, really exciting because it's one of my favorite products. So they really looked out for you guys. that got your tickets today. Congratulations, because this sold out, child. It sold out quick.
That's true, actually. Everybody here, congratulations for being
Yeah.
fastest finger on the buzzer, because
Round of applause.
Round of applause! You didn't have to. You stayed ready, so you didn't have to get ready.
Right.
But everybody watching at home online, we love you too. That's
We
okay.
do.
2025 is just around the corner. It's okay.
Okay, then we're going to go in with a bit of moisturizer, again, to hydrate the skin. A lot of the textures from Estée Lauder are very gel-like, which I really prefer, because sometimes as a makeup artist, if you use products on the skin that are too rich, you might get what we call pilling. Have you ever had that, where you put your foundation on
Does
and it
everybody know
starts
what
to
pilling
roll?
is? When you get these kind of little weird beady ball things.
Exactly.
Makeup bunches up.
And that is always because you're using products that are too rich, or you've layered too many products. And then by the time you then go in with your foundation, it's just the skin can't bear it. So it starts to roll off of the skin. So it's really important to be mindful, use the right skin products, prep the skin accordingly, but also know your skin type as well. So because Sasha's combination, I'm hydrating the skin. I'm keeping it very simple. I've only just used a serum, eye cream, and moisturizer. And then we're going to use a primer, but we're not overloading the skin with 10 products. We don't need to do
I also
that.
noticed that you didn't put loads of it on. I'm quite guilty of that. I love a good scoop just all over.
No, these
not too
products are
much.
potent, yeah. Less is more. You don't need to use too many things. I think also with social media, we're seeing all these like 10-step skincare routines. It becomes so overwhelming, and then you think you need to buy everything. No. How's your skin feeling?
Fresh.
Fresh? You look very fresh. Your skin looks incredible. Okay, so let's go on to primers now. Any questions so far? Yes.
Oh, we have some questions. Okay.
We're going to get the
In
mic
the
to come
grey
down to you.
jumper, you had your hand up first, so early bird gets the worm. And
We'll
then I'm
come
going to come
back.
around, don't worry.
Yeah.
I've seen you, sister, with the good braids. I've seen you. So, yeah, number one.
Oh, that's just okay. Hey, Adeola, thank you so much for the tips that you're giving so far. I'm absolutely here just making notes.
Thank you.
I did just have one question. So whilst you're doing the skin prep, is it ever important to let the product sit a little bit, or is it okay to just kind of go like one product after the other?
Yeah, really good question, by the way. I think, again, it's about the amount of products that you're layering. So if you had more of an extensive skincare routine, then maybe leave it like maybe a couple of minutes before you go into your makeup. But because it's very light, we've only gone in with 3 products, you don't need to do that. And actually, I quite like to have a little bit of that slip, because it means that when I put the makeup on, it just sits beautifully on the skin as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then the lady behind. Hey, girl.
Hiya, thank you. I was going to ask this a bit later, but because you started talking about it with regards to under eye, do you have any tips for prepping laugh lines before doing makeup? And then later on when you're talking, can you also give tips on how to prevent it from cracking, please? Because that's my Achilles heel.
I love that. But also, I love your smile. So smiling's good.
Thank you.
But yeah, I can definitely give you some tips with the primer on how you can combat that.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And then, I'll assist with the braids here. So we do, how many batches? I think 3 at a time is okay, and then we'll resume.
We'll definitely come back and do more questions.
Oh, no. That's fine.
She's like, don't miss me.
I'll remember you with the lovely leather hat. You next.
Oh, hi. Yeah. Hi. Thank you. I wanted to ask, are you going to use SPF, or is that like skipped when you're doing?
So because of the makeup demonstration, I won't be using SPF in this masterclass because we're inside, but definitely, like, SPF is my #1 every day. Just be mindful that if you are having flash photography, it's not going to give you flashback. So a lot of the sort of newer formulations of SPF are actually great for, like, you know, taking pictures and photographs, but sometimes they can have that sort of like zinc, that titanium dioxide, which can cause flashbacks, so just be mindful of that. So when you put it onto the skin, maybe take a picture and make sure that you don't get any of that white cast when you're applying it.
And is that like in a small layer or something?
Yeah, so we normally say about 2 to 3 fingers worth of SPF. That should cover the whole face and the neck as well. Never forget the neck.
Oh yeah, and I want to ask as well with the eye thing.
Yes.
My issue is like my eye watering. So if you could give like tips for that when you do get.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Thank you.
I remember. Thank you. Okay.
After lines, watery
Yes.
eyes. Let's go.
So that is a really good question regarding fine lines on the skin. Again, it's all about prepping and priming the skin in the correct way. So there's actually 2 primers here that we have from Estée Lauder. We have this one, which is called the Future Brilliance. Now, I'm going to show this one on my hand. I'm actually not going to use it today. But if you are someone that loves to have a bit more of a glow and radiance and you have dry skin, hopefully you guys can see it on my hand. Can you see how it just gives more of like a radiance and dewiness to the skin? That will
You
be...
can't see, it's a lovely sheen.
Yeah, there's like a
balmy
nice sheen. That is more of like a hydrating primer, more suitable for a drier skin. But I'm actually going to go in with the Smooth and Blur primer. So this will be really good for my oily skin girlies. And for those of you that want more of a mattifying finish. Now, what I will say is that you don't want to use this all over the face. And that's the thing that I found with a lot of oily skin people is that they just want to minimize and combat the shine all over. Leave the skin to have that glow, like the cheekbones having that glow. That's all about giving your skin that dimension and giving your skin that radiance. Focus on the areas that you have that shine when you're applying your primer, not all over the skin. So I'm going to take a couple of pumps of this. That'll be enough for the face that I'm going to apply this on, or the areas. And you just want to apply that with your fingers. I normally like to apply any sort of skincare products and primers with my finger. So we're going to focus. I'm actually going to do it on one side just so you guys can see how it's really good for blur. And if you just turn your face that way. So what this will do is it will help to smooth out the appearance of any open pores, any texture. It will also help to control the shine and the oil, and also give you more of a matte finish. And if you have areas, for example, like the smile lines or the laughter lines, focus your application on those areas there, okay? And that will give you more of a smooth, blurred out finish. Another thing that you can do is actually going in with a little bit of powder on those areas just to kind of minimize any of that sort of movement and give you more of a smoother application and finish. But can you see how this will help to smooth out the skin, take away that shine, but you still have that lovely glow? And that's important because what you want to do is keep the skin looking like skin. The minute you go in with a primer all over the skin and make it look flat, that's when you just kill the shine, and it just kills the vibrancy of the skin. And I'm all about skin. So important. So I hope that answered you guys' questions about priming the skin. So that's it. So we've done eye cream, we've done moisturizer, we did the serum first of all, and then we went in with the Smooth and Blur primer, which is a really good companion to the Double Wear foundation. Who's tried this foundation before?
Lots of hands up.
I love that. It is a classic. It's like a cult classic. So I started makeup over 10 years ago, and I would say this was one of the first foundations I bought in my kit. But I must admit, I was a little bit scared because when you think of double wear, stay in place, long wear, you think heavy, you think thick. But this foundation is not like that at all. It's like a second skin. It's very lightweight. It's also oil-free, and it comes in 60 shades, which is incredible. So there's definitely a shade for everybody. So definitely after the masterclass, please head over to the Estée Lauder counter where there'll be advisors there to help you. You also get 20% off today. Round of applause, which is really exciting.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So you guys can obviously grab your foundation match. You can also get samples if you want to try. It's a really good experience to actually see what it looks like and how it feels on the skin. So as a true makeup artist, I like to mix my foundations. I think it's really important because sometimes you might be in between shades. So at the moment, we're really experiencing that cold British weather. And then obviously, we're not, having that warmth. So I like to have like a winter shade, which is more like for this time of the year. And then another shade, which is slightly deeper that I can obviously mix. So that way you have like a bespoke shade that you can use. Because I find most people aren't just one shade, they're kind of in between.
Multi-dimensional.
We're multi-dimensional beings. I love that for us. So I'm actually going to take 2 shades and kind of mix it together. And you'll notice with my application is that I actually start in the center of the face. And this is really important to think about. So what you don't want to do is start applying your foundation around the jawline or go too heavy here, because the majority of coverage that you need is around the center of the face. Most people have a bit more redness there. You might have more hyperpigmentation. This area, your jawline, is typically like the lightest part of your face. It's the clearer part of your face. You don't need that much coverage. So always start where you need the most coverage. And for most of us, that is the center of the face. So we're going to go in with foundation from here. And I always like to kind of mix in between, for example, using my fingers and also using a brush as well. So light movements, smoothing that onto the skin. And then if you did want to kind of build up coverage, one of my favorite tools to have is a sponge. And this is really important because what a sponge will do is it will give you that coverage where you need it. So if, for example, you have hyperpigmentation or your skin's a little bit uneven and you want to get more of a flawless finish, I don't love applying makeup with a sponge, but I do love to kind of go back in and press it into the skin. Because what a sponge does is it absorbs excess products. If you find that you put foundation on, it looks very heavy, or you find that it kind of doesn't look like it's sitting well on the skin, maybe apply it first of all with your fingers or a brush, and then go in with a sponge to finish it off. But how's that looking so far, guys? If I just turn this
Good.
way. Yeah. And this is the thing, it looks like her skin, and that's really, really important. And I think for most people, when they think about, double wear or any kind of long wear foundation, they just think thick, heavy, full coverage. And definitely, you can build it up to the coverage that you want it to be. That's the beauty of foundation, is that you can customize it to your personal needs, but what you want it to do is still look like skin. And you can also blend it down onto the neck area, which is also very important. So I'm just kind of blending it in between the two. Any questions on foundation?
Any questions? Hands up. Okay, the lady over here, hand is high. Fourth row.
Just turn towards me.
With people that have
Oh, speak up, we can't hear you.
We're all
You've got a
friends
very
here,
soft
sis.
voice.
people that have like darker necks or like, so where do you match the foundation with the neck or the chest?
That's a really good tip, and I think it's all about preference. So one thing I will say about foundation is it's all about your personal preference. Not everybody is the same. So if you find that you prefer the brightness of your chest, you can actually match your foundation for your face and then go with a lighter concealer. I wouldn't go with a foundation that's too light, because the minute you do that, it starts to look very ashy, because obviously your face is darker than the neck. So what you can do to kind of balance that, and I'll show you with the concealer, is go in with a slightly lighter concealer, maybe 2 to 3 shades brighter, and then you can add that brightness back in under the eye area. Yeah, but I would always say it's better to go a little bit warmer with your foundation and then add that brightness later on than to go too light, because what you don't want to have is what we call a lollipop head, where your head just looks so different and disjointed. It needs to be seamless. It needs to kind of blend in all together. But great question. Thank you.
Any more questions? I saw someone over there had their hand up earlier. We missed you. Oh, okay, right at the front. I love your top. Oh. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
My question was from earlier about the serum.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, because I have combination skin,
Yeah.
would you still recommend using toner or no?
Toner you can definitely use, but toners now are very different to what they used to be. So back in the day, it was very much cleanse, tone, and moisturize.
Yeah.
And that's because the toners were very astringent. They had oil-absorbing properties, but now you have like hydrating toners, you have essences.
Yeah.
So just think about what it is that your skin needs, and then find the right toner for your skin. But it is a step that you can do. It's just not an essential step. You don't have to do it, but just find the right one for you. So if you want hydration and your skin's dry,
Yeah.
go for a hydrating toner. If you have oily skin, you can go for a toner that has maybe more of a oil balancing sort of formula in there. It might have things like salicylic acid, which is really good for breakouts, just to kind of balance the skin.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. And then at the front. Just at the front. Just here. Thank you.
Loving your questions, by the way, guys. Really, really good.
Thank you. Hi. I wanted to ask, I'm
Hi.
not somebody who enjoys wearing heavy foundation. I am more of a skin tint or a moisturizer with like some coverage on it. When is the best time do you recommend to wear heavy foundation, and when is the best time do you think it's best to wear skin tints?
Good question.
That's a great.
And I don't think it's about having the best time. I think it's, again, about your choice and your preference. So the great thing about Estée Lauder is that they have a wide range of formulas. So full coverage would probably be, or the one with the most coverage would be the double wear. They also have a serum which is more like a tinted serum. That one's in like a pipette. That's really good. Or you have the Futurist, which is a hydrating sort of foundation. So you don't have to wear the double wear. One thing you could do is, if you want the long wear benefits of that foundation, you can actually mix.
I was just about to ask you about that. How do you feel about remixing? Because I'm a big fan of this, and I always add a couple of drops just for that extra zhuzh.
Yeah. So what you could do
mix
is,
it with my foundation.
you can create your own form of a sort of foundation or a skin tint by taking a couple of drops of the Advanced Night Repair Serum and mixing it in with the foundation, and then you can kind of add more or a bit less, and then kind of get the formula that you want. But Estée Lauder do have other variations that are slightly lighter, that give you more of a hydration feel to the skin, and then not as much coverage. So the Futurist range is really, really good for that. And actually, if you go to the counter afterwards, we can actually show you that range as well.
Fantastic. I really love what you said, Adeola, about I've learned a lot about the application of products.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm a real Philistine when it comes to putting on makeup. I just pump it into my hand and just put it all over my face.
Yeah.
And I do that with primer, everything. And I've just seen everything that you've applied, you've done really gently, deftly, and quite sparingly.
Yeah.
So like I would put primer, for example, all over my face.
Yeah.
Which is why I'd always go for a dewy one, and then I'd be like crying because it didn't last very long.
Exactly.
So just kind of concentrating where you need.
Exactly.
Paying attention to that. Yeah, tell me more.
We're all kind of guilty of that. One of my favorite things to do is watch people do makeup on the tube because...
Guilty. Who does their who? Commuter girlies, stand up. In a rush, girlies, stand up. It's me.
Because it's just the panic and the frenzy of like putting on all the makeup and yeah.
That's when I will be doing this, tipping it in my hand.
Exactly. Yeah. So my thing is, it's easier to build up your coverage than it is to take down. So if you go with something that's very full, very heavy, if you don't want to take it down, it's so much harder for you to be able to do that. So actually, it's better with light layers and building up gradually. Also, your makeup lasts longer that way. If it's very thick, you find that your makeup moves. Whereas if it's a light layer, you're building it up, you're adding the coverage gradually, it feels better on your skin and it lasts longer as well.
I've learned that, I will say. I was really triggered by a TikTok I saw where it was like, a makeup artist was like, there's this, the people that are like, oh my God, I can't believe you spent an hour doing your makeup. Like, I only take 5 minutes. And then it cuts to the person saying it with their like blusher in stripes. And it's like, yeah, girl, we know. So it is time is really of the essence. But
100%.
okay, though.
Yeah.
For the time poor girlies who are doing their makeup on the tube, this is often me actually. Tube application, okay? So I have my double wear in the bottle. I don't have time to be doing brush and blend.
Yeah.
Just the tube and my hand I will sanitize my hands.
Oh yeah, always have your hand
Hand
sanitizer.
sanitizer is a must.
Yeah.
So my hand sanitizer, the double wear in a dream. How am I going to apply this on a tube?
So I would say you can use your fingers, but I would say have the Advanced Night Repair Serum with you to mix it to kind of make it more easier to blend if you haven't got a brush.
And then application-wise, am I starting in the middle again?
Always start from the center and then kind of blend it outwards.
Okay, gentle.
Yeah, gentle is always the way. Guys, how is the skin looking?
Yes, give us some feedback.
Yeah?
Looking good?
You guys are my eyes, so you need to tell me, how's it looking so far?
Looks pretty fab on the screen to me.
Yeah?
Also very good up close.
And I like that we've done a model that has skin that's real, for you guys to actually really see how it looks. Sometimes, it's important to actually showcase real skin. And Sasha has a really beautiful face. Her skin is gorgeous. I really want to show you the versatility of this foundation and how it just looks like skin. It just looks flawless, really beautiful. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add that dimension into the skin. I'm going to go in with concealer. Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm a makeup artist, and it's all about artistry and making the most of what you have. I've had many shows backstage for Fashion Week where you've had to kind of make it work. And one of my favorite tips is to have a couple of shades of concealer. So I like to have one that's like my skin tone, which is really good to cover things like blemishes or if you've got uneven skin to really help to even out your skin. And that's like your everyday. Who likes a brighter under eye? Who's a bright under eye girly? Okay. Everybody.
Big fans of under eye here. Very
love that.
makeup.
That's also very important because, again, that's going to add the light and dimension into the skin. So that would be one that you'd use under the eyes to give you that radiance. And then I like to have a slightly deeper shade, which would be like a bronzer. So when people say you have to buy a bronzer, you don't have to. But what you could do is cheat a way to kind of add that warmth to your skin with a slightly deeper concealer. And I will use that on the outer perimeters of the face to add a bit of warmth. I'm actually going to be using the Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. Again, I really love this formula. And I'm going to use that on the face in a couple of ways.
Can I ask, have you put foundation underneath the eye? So is the concealer going on top of the foundation you've applied?
A little bit, yeah. So I've done a little bit of concealer under the foundation under the eyes. I'm actually going to go in with a slightly brighter shade and kind of building it up gradually. And this is also very important because what you don't want to do is go in with a very bright, stark concealer that's too bright, because the minute you do that, that's when you're going to get that sort of like flashback and it's just not going to look natural. You'll notice that with the way that I work, it's all about creating those seamless blends to give you that really beautiful finish to the skin. I love it. It just looks really, really nice and natural. I'm using a smaller brush as well because that will also allow me to control my application. When it comes to the under eye, I think one of the questions was about making sure that the concealer sits beautifully and it sometimes creases. Your under eye area is 2 times thinner than the rest of your face. If you overload it with too much product, that's when it starts to go cakey and it starts to move. So light application, your under eye doesn't need too much product. Very light and build it up gradually. Just smoothing that into the skin. I'm focusing on the...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, of course.
That was me just getting excited. I have the mic in my hand. I was just saying, how much do you put on?
So I've literally just taken like one application, one swipe. Yeah.
Or even a dab.
And then I've just taken my brush, again, using the brush to kind of control the application. And I'm focusing on applying that lighter color in the center of the face. So this is, again, adding that definition and that dimension back into the skin. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, it's good time for some questions. I can see a hand at the back, all the way. Yes, someone's coming to you.
This is also a really good concealer to use on the eyelid as well. If you find that your eyelids are quite oily, or you have a bit of like an uneven look to the skin, and you want to kind of even everything out, just take a little bit of this over the eyelid just to even everything out. I was
always worried that if you put concealer on your eye, it would crease even more.
No, it actually works really well. And also because this is the double wear stay in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bloop. Shout out to double wear stay in place. Love that.
That always makes the biggest.
Especially for those of us with what I would call runaway eyes. Makeup just loves to move from my eye specifically.
So that was one of the questions about if you find that your eye makeup moves, doesn't last. So start with like a long wearing concealer on the eyelid just to kind of help keep everything in place.
Fabulous. Okay, let's have that question.
So I kind of have two. I noticed you didn't color correct. Is that something you have like an opinion on, for or against? And then also for the under eye, I usually I'm in a rush, so I just run in with like a sponge. Would you say for like a cleaner application, a brush is like the go-to?
So the first question, thank you, those are great
questions.
Color correcting is a preference. Because I'm short on time, I literally just went in straight with the concealer. But if you are concerned about hyperpigmentation and uneven skin, definitely go with a color corrector. My only bugbear with some color correctors is that they're too red. And then by the time you then try and put your foundation on, you can still see that red coming through. So just go for more of a peachy tone, okay? Because most of the times, any pigmentation that we have on brown skin, black skin is quite black or brown. That peachy undertone will help to color correct and neutralize that. But if you go too red, it just makes life so much harder for yourself, because then you're having to then mitigate that even more by having to add more and more foundation to cover it. And the whole point of foundation and actually makeup application, it should be easy. You know, it should be that at any step, you should be able to leave the house and feel confident. If you're putting that red color corrector all over, you're not going to leave the house. Do you know what I mean? So use a peachy one. And then apply it only to the areas that you need to before you apply your foundation. And actually, if I'm using a color corrector, I actually prefer using a sponge because it allows me to kind of build up that coverage as opposed to using a brush. When it comes to, was your second question about preference of brush or, so again, it's preference. One thing I would say about your sponge is that it's more to absorb. So what you'll find is that a lot of your product ends up in the sponge. If you're spending big £35, £40 on a foundation, you do not want to end up most of it in the sponge. The majority wants to be on the skin and where you're applying it. So take a small amount, 1 pump on your hand first, use that and then apply it. And then if you're using a sponge, it's more so to kind of pick up excess product. So my preference will always be a brush first and then the sponge afterwards. Does that help? Thank you.
Okay, there's another question right behind.
Just for the questions, can I ask everyone to hold the mics closer to their mouths?
Yeah, we want to hear you guys.
Loud and clear.
Hiya.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, in terms of the blending technique that you're using, what would you suggest for us girls with rounder faces, with more of the features? Hey, chubby gang. But like, what would you recommend in terms of keeping all of the kind of blending more centralized in the face?
Good question. So again, I'm going to show you with the darker product that I'm using here. follow the natural curve of your shape of your face and actually what it is that you're wanting to achieve. So I actually like to use cream-based products because I feel like they're a little bit more forgiving and they give you that ability to create more of a natural definition. If you wait until you're applying your powder to then apply your sort of contour products, it's too heavy. And then when you go outside, everyone's going to know that you've used a powder product. So my thing would be is to look at the natural shape of your face. So your forehead typically is slightly darker. I always like to apply my cream bronzers or my cream sort of contour products there because that mimics the natural warmth that you have in your skin from the sun coming in direct contact. Then also just underneath your jawline as well. Underneath, sorry, the cheekbones, but also down on the jawline and then also onto the neck as well. So again, it's following the shape of your face. I'm not really of the notion that, oh, because everyone does it a certain way, you should do it because your face is slightly different to another person that even might have the same shape of a round face. You want to define your own features and bring out your features, okay? So look at your face. Always work on the top of the forehead. Naturally, you want to go just under cheekbones, also the jawline, but also blend whatever you're using onto the neck as well, because again, we want that seamless application. So my rule of thumb is look at your own features, what is it you want to accentuate, and really work with cream-based products to give you more of a natural finish. Does that help? Perfect, thank you.
You know, the girls use the word snatched when it comes to applying makeup. How does one get a snatched look? Like, what areas might you apply that bronzer to?
Yeah, so for me, it's always, for example, the forehead. I love bronzer, I love cream-based products, and just making sure that you're really working into the skin. Just hugging, so for example, I'm using like an angled brush here, which is amazing because it hugs the contours of the face, and then under the jawline, but I'm making sure that I'm taking it down onto the neck and the chest area as well. That's also very, very important. So they say it's like a number 3, but I don't like saying that because then people literally start going 3, and then you're not blending it out. Focus on certain areas, so the forehead, just under your cheekbones, and then under your jawline, but make sure whatever you're using, you're also blending it onto the neck area to make sure that the seamless blend is there.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you for that. I was wondering what that actually means.
It is really, really good.
Okay, more questions. We have another lady at the back. Her hand is high. Anyone I'm missing at the front? I don't want to. Oh, yeah. I can't forget you. Hi, cute. We'll come to you next.
Who have we got next?
Hi.
Hi.
I basically, it's not anything to do with like what you've done now, but do you think you can do a full face with just concealer? I was having this debate with my friend, and I mostly use concealers to do my makeup.
Yeah.
I think I just use foundation like as an in-between to blend out everything seamlessly. So do you think that you can actually achieve a really good beat with mostly concealers and supplementing like bronzers with a foundation?
Absolutely, yeah. Debate settled, absolutely. Especially if you have the luxury of having really good skin, you don't need to have a foundation. You could just go in with a concealer and then just even out the skin as and where you need it, as opposed to applying foundation. I always think of makeup as a tool, yeah? Enhance your face the way that you want to. Don't feel like you have to do anything. You don't have to wear foundation if you don't want to. If you feel like, do you know what? Just applying the concealer gives me everything that I need and a bit of bronzer. Amazing, you know? I think now, because of social media and we have all of this information and product readily available to us, there's that pressure feeling like we need to have it. You don't need to. And that was the reason why I went into makeup, is because I wanted to be able to discern what was for me and not be made to feel like I had to have everything. And if I wanted to leave the house and just wear concealer, I wanted to feel as confident then than when I have a full face of makeup. That's the beauty of really tapping into who you are, but also knowing what works for you. So I hope that helps.
I love that. Okay, one more question at the back, and then we're going to come to the front to you. How is everybody feeling, by the way? Everybody's really paying attention. Vibe check. Are we okay? Yes? Are we thinking about the goodie bag?
Yeah.
Were you here? Hands up if you were here last year. Oh my God. Okay, fab. Hands up if you're still using products from your goodie bag last year. This right now. Me. Same. Oh my God, love that for everybody. Love, love, love. See you in 2025. Okay, question at the back.
Hi again, Chubby Girl CEO. Hiya.
Bloop, hi sister. Fluffy gang, stand up.
Yes, representing. I just wanted to say, my next question was, how would you navigate trying to find an in-between of soft and full glam? Because I've come from a generation of the straight, all glam 2015, the harsh eyebrow.
Well, you were cut crease girly.
Right, I'm still that girl. Right.
Any cut crease fans in the house? One or two? Yes.
Exactly.
Who is doing a
Stand
cut
on
crease
it.
on the tube?
I know.
Are you guys doing that?
I've never done a cut crease in my life.
Oh, we got to get you into it. We
But
got
I'll be coming to you. Okay, so you're saying, yeah?
Yeah,
Hard,
so-
full glam,
Yeah.
soft glam.
How
Is
do
there a
we-
happy medium?
Maybe like even a more natural beat. How would you say I could navigate like investigating that best?
So I would say figure out what your main area that you want to highlight is. So is it your eyes? Is it your lips? Is it your skin? And then maybe have a couple of things in your routine that you can maybe like use to kind of highlight that after work. So for example, you can have a very natural look for the daytime. Maybe you're going to work, it could just be a concealer and a bit of bronzer. But then if you want to kind of like amplify that, you can maybe have a nice eyeshadow palette that you can use that you can add to your eyes for after work. So my thing is that have your routine, start off very simple, but then build on it. And also focus on an area that you want to amplify. So for me, I love my lips. My smile is like my favorite feature. So I always want to, have an amazing lipstick to hand that I can obviously use to kind of amp that up, whether it's a bold red lip, whether it's like a nice sort of like nude with a bit of a gloss. Those are like my things that I kind of focus on. And then that will literally take me from like a day look to then being more soft glam for the evening. If it's eyes, invest in a really beautiful eyeshadow palette with maybe a bit of sparkle and an eyeliner that you can obviously like amplify the eyes. But find an area to focus on that you really love about yourself and then focus on that to kind of be the kind of difference between like your everyday and then like your out kind of makeup.
Fantastic. Case closed. Okay, up to the, yes. This very lovely girl with the bunches.
How are we doing for time?
Just maybe you can jog.
Let's move faster, ladies.
There we go, exactly. Come on, let's get a canter on.
Energy.
Number 4, thank you. Coming over to you now.
Hi. So online, I've been seeing a lot about like water-based products and silicone-based. And then they've been talking about, oh, you can't mix silicone and water-based because that's not a thing. I don't know. So my question is that a thing? And then what base would you recommend for like combination skin?
So I would try and avoid things that are opposite to each other because that's when it's going to start to repel. So for example, if you're using a silicone-based foundation, use a silicone-based primer. You can use like water-based products, but then you have to be mindful that that might not work with a silicone-based product. So it is trial and error, but just be mindful of that certain things work better together. So for example, try and match the formula to the kind of primer it is that you're using. But some people can get away with it and it works absolutely fine. I obviously mix and match and use different things, but again, it's like if you ever see that pilling where you're seeing that rolling, that's essentially what's happening there because the products don't work, because the water-based product is too rich for the silicone product, then it just kind of slips off the skin.
And is double wear, water-based or?
So this one is an oil-free foundation. So it's a hydrating foundation, but there's no like oils in there or any sort of lipids that are going to make it kind of run. So that's why it works really well with that. Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you very much. Do we have any more questions? I feel. Oh, okay. Up at the front. In the good blazer.
I love that.
Everyone came looking fab today. Oh, sorry. Look at me. You know, it's the hair bias. I literally cannot see. I'm so sorry. Okay, you're next. You look sensational. But first, at the front, Madame with the blazer. Hi, girl.
Thank you. Also, the blazer was. I follow Adeola on Instagram, so she actually hooked me up.
Oh, you look gorgeous. Is it the H&M one?
Yeah.
Yeah? I love that.
Lovely to see you. So thank you for the tips anyway, taking notes. So I noticed you didn't use a powder to set the foundation. Is it because the double way is drying on its own?
Yeah, so it's a stay-in-place foundation. It's oil-free, so you don't have to use powder with it. And I wanted to kind of showcase how you get this really beautiful finish without powder. Powder is a great step, but it's not always necessary. Okay. If you were like super, super oily and you wanted more of a matte finish, absolutely. But again, with the powder application, I wouldn't use it all over. The same way that I use a primer only in the T-zone, I would only use the powder in the T-zone. So I would keep the rest of the skin like glowy, radiant, like the cheekbones, and then just put a bit of powder on the T-zone area just to give you that sort of like soft, balanced matte, but nothing too overpowering.
Thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Powder's not very tube friendly.
Yeah, and not everybody loves it. Who loves powder?
Yeah. Powder fans?
Okay,
Lots of
use
powder
it every day. Who
fans.
doesn't love powder?
Me, I don't. I
Yeah,
like
some people
dewy.
don't.
I like dewy.
I love a glow.
But then it doesn't last. So
That's
now
true.
I'm learning.
But then I need to use powder because if I don't, you'll definitely know about it.
See? Okay, but it's not all over. Okay,
Yeah.
after, to the left for you. The right, to the left to this wonderful lady.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm really enjoying the masterclass. Thank you for this. This
you.
is very helpful. I have a quick question about because I like to go on holiday and I like to go to hot places.
Who doesn't like a holiday?
Everyone. So what techniques would you recommend for the girls that go on like hot trips, like places like the Caribbean and like New Orleans was boiling, humid? What techniques would you recommend for us to do?
I love that.
Holiday essentials.
Holiday essentials. That's a really good question. Thank you. So my first thing would be, think about the formula that you want. So are you looking for a long wear foundation or even looking for a foundation? That's important because the formula will help you choose the right foundation formula that you're going to have or whether you want more of a skin tint. A lot of people prefer to have a skin tint because it's a bit lighter. And when you're going on holiday, you don't want anything too heavy on their skin. But you might also want to go with the double wear because it gives you that coverage. It's also long wear and it's oil-free. So again, it's all about preference. I don't really wear foundation when I go on holiday. Like, I hardly ever wear it, I'm not going to lie.
Just a bit of lip gloss.
Just a bit. Just a bit of lip gloss and vibes. I think that's also very important because when you're on holiday, okay, this is what I do. I take my makeup with me, but very rarely do I use it. Is anyone else the same?
Same.
I'm just being real. You pack everything with you. I'm a massive overpacker. I take everything with me, and I don't end up using it. It's because when I'm on holiday, I want to be free. I want my skin to shine. I want my skin to glow. So you could take your foundation with you, but then again, having the Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair, you can mix a couple of drops in with that, create your skin tint. If you do want to wear it as a full coverage foundation, you could do. But the only thing is that don't invest in a foundation when you're going on holiday because what's going to happen? You're going to go darker. And then that foundation's not going to work for you. That's also another thing. You get there, you're one shade. You leave the holiday, you're a different shade. So that's also very important as well. So just be mindful of that. But again, that's your opportunity to be free with your skin. Let your skin breathe. Your skin is always the best when it's on holiday. Am I lying?
It's true.
Always the best. The sun, your skin just looks amazing. You're glowing naturally. So I would literally just do a little bit of like tinted moisturizer, if that. Bit of bronzer. Bronzer's my go-to when I go on holiday. That's the thing that I use. Because in that way, I can kind of adjust and add a bit more, depending on how dark I go. But yeah, just be free. Enjoy.
To freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we in the stages?
So I did a little bit of bronzer because I'm just conscious of not bronzer, eyebrow pencil. I did the double wear stay in place multi-brow tamer. I love this because you have a spoolie, which is basically a fancy name for a brow brush. So you can brush the brows up and then obviously see where the gaps are. And what I really like about this pencil is that it's very long wearing, but can you see how it's quite arched and chiseled? That allows you to mimic those natural fine hairs to give you that really lovely sort of just done brow, but nothing too heavy. I'm not a fan of like very thick, bushy brows that look like they've been drawn in. If I'm going to use a pencil, I want it to look very natural and very lightweight through the brows. So this is a really good pencil for that. And I use one in the shade Brunette.
This is how I know you're a real makeup artist, because you didn't do blender hands. You didn't do, don't know if you can see. You didn't do YouTube hands. You just showed the product.
Just showed the product. And so that way, it just gives a very nice natural finish to the brows. But again, I wanted to really focus on the skin, so I did the brows really quickly. What should we do with the eyes? Should we do smoky? What do you guys want help with? A day eye, smoky?
Date night?
Smoky?
Everybody's saying smoky.
Yeah? Oh, you guys are going out tonight. Okay.
Fab. And wait, do we want smoky with a twist, though? Do we want some kind of zhuzh?
Like a bit of sparkle, a bit of sheen?
Or, you know, like...
Okay. I'm going to show you how to do a really quick and easy smoky eye. I'm actually going to be using these gorgeous palettes. And what I love about them is that there's only 4 colors in there, so it's very simple. Sometimes having like a 12-pan eyeshadow palette is great, but in theory, I'm only going to use about 2 colors in there. So let's be real.
Also not tube friendly.
Exactly, they're not tube friendly. So I love this because you have an eyeliner shade. So anytime you have this dark color in there, please use it. Don't be scared, but it's more of like an eyeliner. So it's not going to go all over your eye. And then you have like these nice sorts of colors, and then you have a sparkle. So for my friend that was saying that she's going out, what can she do to amplify her eyes? Use your finger and apply that to give you more of like a nighttime look to your eye. So I'm actually going to take a pencil, and I've really been loving, I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram, I was talking about how I'm actually loving using brown pencils as opposed to black.
That's what I meant by with a twist. I feel like a smoky eye with brown is just a bit.
I just think it's a bit
zhuzh.
softer, and it just looks a little bit nicer. So I actually quite like to map out the shape of my eyes with the pencil. So I'm actually going to go in with this one. This is the double wear eye pencil in the shade Espresso. I love it. It's a nice brown, but also it's really easy to blend. And I'm actually going to take that and just use that on the outer corner of the eye like this. Okay, can you guys see that?
Can we see? Can we see?
Yeah? Wonderful. Okay. And then I'm just going to basically blend that out through the eye and then through the socket. But the beauty with this pencil was that you have time to smudge it and move it, but then once it sets, it stays in place. So that's really important because for a lot of people, they want to do their eye makeup. And for that person that said, my eye makeup runs, one of the best things to do is invest in long-wearing eye makeup formulas. That's going to be your friend. Because anything that's like smudgy or anything that's like a kohl pencil, they're not going to last. They're great for like inside the waterline, inside the eye, but they're not going to be the long-lasting finish that you want.
And when you said set, again, is this another thing that we might have to like wait a couple of seconds before moving on, or no?
I would work quite quickly with these because once it sets, as in like it stays in place, that's it, and it's very hard to blend.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I drew it onto the eye, I then went in with a small brush like this, and I blended it out. Because what you don't want to do is wait, because if you then go in and try and blend out the eyeliner with the brush, and you've left it for too long, it won't move. And that's a good thing, because it means it's going to stay.
Speedy weedy. Any more questions? I can see some hands. Oh, at the front. Okay, another question. Hey.
Oh, sorry. What's it called?
Oh, okay. Two double. Okay, we're doing double wear and double questions. Two repeat questioners.
I just wanted to ask about. I don't know if you're gonna do it today, but like nose contour. Like if you're a fan, and then like how would you do it?
Who am I looking at?
Me.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Yeah. Like if you're a fan, and like how would you do it? Because yeah, I get.
So
like,
my question
Are we still
is,
nose contouring, everyone? I'm just curious. Who nose contours here?
a few people.
Okay, a few. Okay.
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 Yeah.
Just checking. You know, the trends come and go.
So nose contouring is fine. It's not my preference, especially if I'm working on clients, because I think, again, you have to be mindful of how you blend it out. But one thing I would say is, again, use a cream-based product when you're applying. So, for example, I always like to start, if you turn for me, I always start from the inner corner, from here, and then go down along the bridge of the nose. And using a cream-based product allows you to kind of blend out. It's not my personal preference. I don't love nose contour because I think sometimes if you're not blending it properly and the average person doesn't know how to blend it, all you see is two lines. And that's not doing anything for anybody. So if you're going to do it with purpose, but also make sure you're doing it properly. Yeah. Okay. But cream bronzers and cream products are my favorites for any kind of contouring like that.
Another question at the front, and then we're going to come to you at the back. I can see. I'm sorry, I will turn over here. Apologies. Yes. And you next. Okay, fire away.
Hi. Just two questions to finish off from me.
Yeah.
What is your true opinion when it comes to women that...
Hi.
What is your true opinion when it comes to women that wear makeup to the gym? Because I personally don't understand when it comes to hygiene.
I get your question.
It depends what you're going to the gym for, sister.
I get your question.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Like
I hear it.
And also, the final question, you said you've been in the industry for 10 years.
Yeah.
You clearly know a lot, and you have a lot of knowledge.
Thank you.
Have you ever thought about doing courses or opening up a makeup school?
Ooh. I mean, okay, let's do the first one, because I really wanted to actually speak about that.
Makeup in the gym.
Makeup in the gym. So it's funny, because when I go to my local gym, I don't look like this. I'm just going to be real with you. If you like it, I love it for you, if that's what you want to do. But it's not my preference because, again, when I sweat, I want to be able to wipe my face. I want to be able to get sticky. I want to get, like, into the workout. But then I see these, like, fitness girlies, and they have a full face of makeup, and they look amazing. So if it works for you and you love it, great, amazing. But But for me personally, I just want to be able to get into my workout and not have to worry about my appearance and how I'm looking. But some people love it.
Yeah, and I love it for them, to be honest. But I do wonder, I'm guessing on a, I think one of the things that is against wearing makeup in the gym, apart from, like not being able to wipe your face, is it bad for your skin?
I mean, in terms of like breathability, but then we've got really sophisticated formulas now that are lightweight. So for example, it's no different to when you're going to a hot climate and you're perspiring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're still exerting some kind of like movement that's going to make you sweat. But then that's why we have some great formulas that actually withstand that. So again, just make sure you're using the right formulas if you are going to do it. But for me, I'm just thinking, because I'm always a skincare girly first, I'm thinking about my skin first. But those girlies they're worried about looking good and doing their workouts, so I get that.
I hear it. Also, I just think on a practical level, it just occurred to me, I'm like, I've been to many a rave or a warehouse party or even a hall party.
I love
it. They get really hot. You are sweating, maybe even more so than you might do in a gym, depending on what you're doing. And so I guess it's horses for courses. But I think there was this thing of like when you see someone with a full face in the gym, you're like,
right.
Oh, like her poor skin underneath.
And then the next question was about makeup courses. I mean, if I did some, would you guys...
Yeah, who would be interested in a makeup course from Adeola?
Okay,
big show of hands.
Good.
Okay,
I'll remember you guys when I put one out. I'll come find you.
We'll be coming round with a sign-up sheet after. It's very much proof of concept. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Right at the back, this lady been waiting so patiently. Thank you.
Oh, hello. Okay, it's perfect. Everyone looks fabulous today, by the way. My question is, so I'm usually a bronzer girly, but recently I've been experimenting with blush and having a little bit of colour.
My favourite.
I love it, it's great. So I wanted to know what advice you have because of the different face shapes and the angles that you can go. Like, what would be your top tips?
I love blush. It's my favourite thing. I think there was like this big thing where people didn't want to wear blush because it reminded them of their auntie, you know?
Shout out to the aunties.
Shout out to the aunties.
They are my makeup inspiration.
They were the original influencers, okay?
Hey.
They were the original ones with their lip
Colour
liner.
blocking, blue eyeshadow.
You know?
Fab.
Like, they walked so we could run. I'm going to show you how I would apply blusher in a second. But for me, it's about finding the right colour for your skin tone. So I want to kind of move away from like, deeper skins can only wear berries. We can wear whatever color we want. I love a pink, I love like bold colors. I think, again, it's all about the fact that we have so much choice now. So we've got creams, we've got, there's a social thing as blonzer, which is basically where formulas mix blusher and bronzer. So you kind of get into two in one.
What's this now?
Yeah. Honestly, the beauty, like before we were, struggling with formulas. Now we're like spoilt for choice. But again, one of the ways that you can find the perfect blush shade for you is to look at the natural color of your lip. Okay? So most of us are blessed with two tones where we might have a slightly deeper top lip or deeper outer perimeter, but then look at the gorgeous color we naturally have in our lips. If you're ever unsure as to what color to choose, try and find a blusher that literally looks like that color. That's your perfect blush. Okay? So that way, it kind of takes away the mystery of like, what color can I go for? What can I use? Just find a color that's very similar to this, and that would be like your perfect like nude blush. But again, I would encourage you guys to set some time to actually go into stores, go upstairs, have a look around, try things on. If you don't try, you're not going to know. It's very difficult to shop online and actually have a look at the colors, because 9 times out of 10, how it looks in the pictures and the images is not how it's going to look on your skin. And it's so important because for so long we've been told what shades we can wear. Oh, only deeper colors can wear like, berry shades or like, reddish shades. You can wear whatever color you want, but it's what makes you feel confident. So trying and trial and error is going to be the best thing for you.
And in terms of the application, you mentioned, I guess, where you might put it for different effects. What effect are you going for? Are you going for swoop, snatch, or
exactly? What are we doing?
Do you want to show us when you're applying the blush?
Yeah, I'm going to do that in a second. Actually.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
So
beautiful lady here in this excellent two-piece.
First of all, hey, and what's happening?
Hey. Oh, what's happening? Give.
So my question, it's more about the end result. So about setting spray and fixing spray. So first of all, I'm going to throw my sister. She tells me I use too much. So, but that's because I'm scared. I want the makeup to hold and to stay. So what is the right amount to use? Is there a right amount?
I don't think there's a right or wrong amount. I think, again, it's the formula that you're using because there's so many different types. So I typically like setting sprays that are like the aerosol can vibes. They're really good to kind of like lock in your makeup and keep everything in place. But then there's also hydrating like setting sprays that literally are kind of more like, you know, when you put your makeup on and maybe you put too much powder on and you want it to look more like skin. That one is great if you really want to kind of get the makeup to kind of melt into your skin. But if you're looking for that long wearing, go for the ones that are like in the can. They're literally like hairsprays for your face.
Okay, and then talk to me about the difference between the setting spray and the fixing spray, because
That's what
I
was gonna
only
ask
just
about.
learned the difference.
I literally only just learned the
Yeah, I thought, I was like, why is it not lasting? And then
Yeah.
the setting spray is to help the makeup just kind of blend and merge.
Exactly. So the kind of like clue is in the name. Fixing is like gonna be like glue. It's gonna like fix it in. That's what I was saying about the more kind of like aerosol kind of can sprays. The setting sprays are more like your like mists, the hydrating kind of sprays that after you've done your makeup and you don't want it to look too cakey, you then go in with that and it kind of just melts everything in.
It's like a
so
bit
I
of a
actually kind of
reviver.
like flip between the two
How
depending.
much of the fixing? Because that's my thing. I need it to stay.
To stay.
And my sister, actually, let me name drop Casey. My sister Casey.
Hey,
tells me-
Casey.
hey, Kate. She's not here today. Hey, Kate. Yeah, I think I go for it too much, but because I need it to stay. So how much is? Yeah, is that too much? Is it like?
It's never too much. Obviously, you don't want to like suffocate yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to kind of spray it so that you feel like it's actually sitting on your
So is
skin.
Two enough, or is
Yeah,
is it
two.
circular? What motion?
that's
Are you
true.
flexing
So I like to
motion
do an
or-
X.
Okay.
So like this way, that way. You can do that twice.
Okay.
Or some people like to do a T-zone, like this area and that area. But yeah, like twice.
Okay, twice.
I've never been asked
So
this
I was
question,
doing
like
too
how
much,
many. I
yeah.
just kind of do it out of habit, but I've never been asked like how much. But it's a good question. Yeah.
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 Twice. We got it.
No problem.
Okay, where are we at in the proceedings now, Adeola?
So we
How
are doing
getting on?
eyes. We're nearly done. So I've literally just kind of built up her eyes and created this really beautiful eye makeup look. So I went in with a pencil. That helped me create the shape that I wanted to. I really used that along the lash line and a little bit through the socket. And then now what I'm doing is I'm taking this beautiful like bronze shade. Any of these kind of colors, I actually apply that with my fingers because I feel like my finger picks up more pigment and gives me more of that beautiful sort of, you get more of a punch with the color. And I always like to have a brush that's slightly fluffy to kind of blend out the harsh lines and edges. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sparkle color. Now, you don't have to do this in the day, but if you really want to kind of amp up the eye and make it look more like a party or more seasonal, you can literally just take your finger and just press that over. So I've actually used 3 out of the 4 shades I've gone in with. This is like my eyeliner shade. This is more of like the sparkle, and then that was like the one that I put all over the lid just to give me a little bit more on the eyes. And that looks really pretty so far. Gorgeous.
Are we smoking out a bit more? Or how?
Yeah, we are. So you can actually go in with a little bit more of the eyeliner just to kind of smoke it out. And then you can kind of build it up. But the main thing with an eyeliner and a smoky eye is to really focus on the lash line, because that's what's going to give you that definition. And also think about the intensity. Your intensity is more so like the lash line. That's where you want the darkest part of the eye to be. Perfect. I'm going to do a bit of mascara.
And then we're going to get onto blush.
Yeah,
are we?
blush
That's
and
my
lip,
favorite.
and then we're done.
Do we have any more questions? Okay.
Open your eyes for me.
This hand was first. Okay. We are running low on time. Okay, you're going to have to get into your tube glam bag,
Yes.
Adeola. Just imagine you're panicked. You're on the central line. Work starts in 15.
Right.
Let's
Happening
power
now.
through, okay?
The
You've got
girlies
3
are coming for
stops
me.
before it's time to get off.
Yes.
So blush and lips in 3 stops. But in the meantime, let's have a question at the front.
Open your eyes for me. Perfect.
Hi, I've just got a question about mascaras. So
Yes.
I want to get one that will actually kind of lift my lashes. So mine are, how would you say my lashes are? Downward facing lashes. My lash tech right here.
Yeah.
But I just found that some mascaras I'll use, and when I look at myself, it doesn't even look like I've got mascara on. I'd actually like to see a
The
bit of
lift.
lift.
Yeah.
So is there, like, what kind of mascaras would you recommend?
This one is amazing from Estée Lauder. I think it's called the Turbo Mascara. One thing that I would also
What's it
say,
called?
the Turbo Mascara, I believe. Yeah, the name's not on it, but I definitely feel like it's called the Turbo Mascara. I like this mascara because it's a true black mascara. You know, sometimes you can buy a mascara and it looks off grey. It's not really black, and then you don't get that definition. So this one is great, but also I really love that there's tiny bristles. So I'm very much like you. I'm part of the itty bitty lash community. I don't really have much in the way of lashes, so I feel like the smaller the actual wand is, it's able to kind of pick up every single lash and give me the definition. If the brushes are too wide or too big, it doesn't really do much. So you want something that's really going to grab every single lash. Another good tip as well is when you're applying your mascara, have a compact that's handheld like this. Look down and then apply your mascara. That way you can get right under the roots of the lashes and then really extend and lift your lashes as well. And curling your lashes as well is also very important.
Yeah, I've got really curly lashes, so mine just immediately coats my eyelid as soon as I've blinked.
Yeah.
So wait, you put the mascara from underneath? Maybe
Underneath, yeah.
From the top.
So I'm actually really lifting Sasha's eyelids and kind of pushing it through and wiggling it. And take your time with mascara as well. It's not about rushing because you want to grab every single lash. But if you're doing it on yourself, have a handheld compact, look down, and then that way you're able to get right in between your lashes. And it also stops you from knocking the mascara onto your eyelid as well.
That's me. Thank you. Saved my life. Tube.
Do you know if that
tube routine just upgraded?
Is that a silicone brush or just a standard?
This one is, I believe it's a silicone brush, yeah. It's not like the plastic bristles. Yeah, that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? How is everybody feeling? We're okay?
Yeah, we're nearly
ready?
done.
I'm pumped to be flawless. Exactly, that hand is high. Yes, sister. Okay, more questions. At the front, over here. Thank you. Number 4 is coming to you.
Thank you. Adeola, you look gorgeous, by the way. I love your outfit. It's given smashed. My question was around when you have sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this was kind of covered earlier when you mentioned about, someone mentioned about the fine lines. But I find that I love sunglasses because I feel like it just completes the look. So when I have makeup on and I take it off, like even if I have it on for like 20 minutes, as in the sunglasses, and when I take it off, I see like a dent.
Yeah.
Is there a way to prevent that, or is that just based on prep, or just like powder?
Prep, powder. Again, it's really difficult because naturally the indentations from those little clip things here, because they're sitting on the face, they're going to cause that. So you can mitigate that by obviously having like a powder puff to hand, and then that way you can kind of like, you know, press a bit of powder just to kind of like set the area every single time you're obviously removing and adding on your sunglasses. But it's the name of the game. I'm a sunglasses girly too. You just got to be mindful of it. And also maybe think about using formulas that are a bit more longer wearing so that they kind of withstand the fact that you're going to be taking your sunglasses off and then putting them back on again.
Hey, Adeola, we are running out of time. We've had too much fun. So again, we're talking like how many minutes, Leah? Are we saying 4, 3, 2? Tube girl. Let's do tube.
Let's do this. We're going to
pop 2 stops on the central line. So speed blush. Talk us through it, Adeola, quickly. Oh my God.
So we're doing a bit of blush now. So this is for all my blusher girlies. I love blush. And again, can you see how this color is very reminiscent of the natural tones in her lip? That is how you choose your blush. But also as well, it's about placement. So I'm all about nice and high to lift the face.
Okay,
if the blusher placement is too low, we're not about dragging the face down. We're all about lifting. So if you just smile for me, it's all about up and blending in the upwards motion to give you that really nice sort of finish. And I love this color because, again, it's very reminiscent. So it's like a perfect sort of new blush for her. This one is the pure color, and it's called Forbidden Berry. So it's a nice, beautiful berry shade, but again, it's a bit more softer, and I think there's a bit more pink to it, as opposed to...
We've got one more stop, Adeola. What's next?
Let's
Train
do
is about to screech to a halt.
Of highlighter. So for me, I love highlighter. Doing a bit of highlighter on the cheekbones now. And we're going to give a little bit of that glow. Who loves highlighter?
You've got one stop on the central line and you're putting highlighter on it.
Yes.
Is this you?
We're doing this. Love that. So a bit of highlighter on the cheeks. You can just see how she has that gorgeous...
Oh, it is worth it. It is. Can we agree the highlighter was worth it? It's glowy. It's glowy. It's glowy. Okay.
I think that's it. Unless we have time for lip.
I mean,
can we do a lip?
Can you do a lip in 30 seconds? I think you can. You're a professional.
I'm trying to think. Let's do it.
I did not know that this would sort of turn into a commuter's masterclass.
See, this is like the bad rep I get for judging the commuter girlies. They're like coming.
But this is it. Empathy is very important, Adeola. But also, we're all time stretched. You know, we all live very busy lives. We're always on the go. I would love to be able to spend an hour each day doing my makeup. That's just not my reality.
This gorgeous lip color. And again, if you're somebody that doesn't want to commit to a full-on bold lip, take your lip color and press it on the lips just to give you this really lovely bespoke tint, which is also really beautiful. You can also take your lip color and use it as a blusher as well. That's also a really good step. I'm just literally taking this. I'm also a lip gloss girly, so I love gloss. That's like my favorite thing. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on.
Okay. The tube has stopped. Please mind the gap. The doors are opening. I think we can agree this look is sensational. Do we feel like this is a finished look?
It is.
I mean, let's make some noise. Thanks, guys. This is what we call grace under pressure. Fabulous. Under time constraints. Still gorge. Thank you so much, Adeola, for this really flawless demonstration and all the expert tips you've given us. This is why we had the detour, because
and thank you guys for your amazing questions.
Yes,
so I'll see you guys on the Estée Lauder counter.
And I will see you all back here at 3 p.m. for the TikTok conversation with the content queen. So, go and enjoy yourself. Go get shade matched. And thank you so much.